Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for Grow My Bag. I hope you're having a great morning thus far. It's still really early over here. It's pretty dark. But let's get into it. Cathie Wood, sorry. Her ARK Innovation ETF is selling Tesla and picking up Palantir. That tells me a lot. That tells me a lot. What they're saying is, there's potential in EVs. Let's not play. Let's not play that game. However, what it looks like is that they're saying, well, yeah, there's potential in EVs. Absolutely. With all the contracts that, for charging stations that Tesla has put up and started, it's a very big deal, right? However, Palantir is looking like they're the innovators. They're the company that are actually looking for places and ways to invest in innovative organizations. That's a very big deal because those innovations are coming from AI and crypto. So we should be paying attention to that. More importantly, I'd like to know who else is going to do that? Who else is going to follow? Not a lot of people are getting out of Tesla. Yeah, but I could see shaving some money off of Tesla and getting into something else. Absolutely. If I'm up, I'm absolutely going to do that. Mixin Network. Now, this is the second time in 2 weeks that I'm going to tell you about a company who's lost money because of a service provider. Okay. Mixin Network they weren't hacked, but their hosting provider was hacked, and that caused them to lose $200 million. I want to see who's going to have to pony up. Who's got the insurance? Who's got all that? I tell people all the time, you need to check the security posture of any company you're doing business with. It's not necessarily the security posture of the company you're directly doing business with that matters, that tells the whole story. It's the companies they do business with, right? So if you're dealing with Mixin Network, you might be affected by this $200 million loss. But should you have asked them for information on the vendors that they use? Yes. The answer is yes. Okay. There are accounting attestations that companies have to do, that, publicly traded companies and companies over a certain value have to do. Right. And it also means that they have to get attestations from the companies that they do business with that have a significant input or effect on their accounting. And I think that you need to start looking into the same thing when you're doing business with these companies. So Mixin Network gets hit. Something else that happened is Upbit, a decentralized exchange, got hit with $3.4 billion worth of fake Aptos tokens. How did that happen? Apparently, they didn't check the arguments to see that these transactions already happened. They were dupes. Some trading group, South Korean trading group, D-Finalists, go D-Finalists. Just give them a round of applause. They're saying that if you'd have checked these arguments, you'd have seen that they were fake. They're calling it like a dumb move, a stupid miss. And I'm sitting there, I'm going, how did that happen? So I know that over at Upbit, they must be, something's in my eye, sorry. They must be looking at what their transaction logs are saying, literally, how did this happen? They were down for a little bit, but they were able to get services back up and running. I'm not quite sure about, if anybody was actually hit with this. So the fake tokens were called, what is it? Claim APT.com or claim your APT. Oh, sorry. Claimaptgift.com. When you look at your wallet, you might see funny NFTs in there. Don't click them. If you didn't buy it, don't click it. Unless you know it's from a reputable company, don't click it. Don't get involved with it at all. At all. Why? Because they're most likely scams. Unless you hear about an airdrop from a reputable business, a reputable company, don't do it. right? Like I got some VThor because I held VeChain, but I got coin. I got tokens. I got stuff. I didn't get an NFT that turns into an ask for your crypto. Be very careful when you're managing your wallets. Be very, very careful when you're managing your wallets. All right. That's a very big deal. Security is a big deal. That's 2 security issues or 3 security issues. Was it 3 or 4 actually? Might have been 3 or 4 security issues. Oh yeah, because there was Fortress. So this is reminiscent of how Fortress, their service provider, got hacked and cost them big. It cost them the business, didn't it? So you start looking at things like that. Vitalik Buterin is moving a ton of not Bitcoin, of Ethereum over to Coinbase. Frankly, I don't care, right? It's his money. They're his assets. Now, could that have an effect? I mean, it's $632,000 worth of Ethereum. Could that have an effect? 632, that's less than $700,000, right? Does that have an effect on the price? Not really. Not in the grand scheme of things, like not at all. But people are wondering, well, why is he dumping? I'm pretty sure he has a hell of a lot more than that. Maybe he just wants some money. He hasn't sold them yet, right? Maybe he just wanted to move some stuff. Maybe he wants to flip his ETH to something else. Who knows? His business. It's not like we're talking about a $200 million hack, a $40 million hack, that was carried out by North Korea. We're not talking about things at that level. We're talking about some dude just moving a couple of bucks. Take it down a notch. Let's really bring it down a notch. Something that you should be looking at. You should be looking at the amount of bankruptcy filings right now. Apollo Research has, released a report that says bankruptcy filings are at record highs. The last time we saw bankruptcy filings at this level was during the pandemic crisis. Previous to that, it was 12 years. 12 years, and that was during the Great Recession. We should be thinking about this. We should be looking at this. As more bankruptcy filings happen, you can tell that the economy is, maybe not doing so well. Interest rates are high. Everything's high. So you got hit with greedflation and inflation. Those are the 2 things. And that's what we should be paying attention to. We should be watching out for all of those different things. It's serious. It really is serious out there. Coinbase. I've been paying attention to how Binance has been faltering around the world because of all kinds of regulatory issues, fighting battles on all kinds of fronts. You know what Coinbase is doing? Shh, very quietly. They're expanding into other countries. Italy, Netherlands, Ireland, and now they're adding Spain to that list, or they're trying to add Spain to that list, right? They just got approved by the big bank over there in Spain with an AML, with a nod for their AML licensing. That's a big deal. Anti-money laundering. That means that they're well on their way and doing everything correctly to get certified in that country. That's big. So basically that says, Coinbase said, we want to get into this list of countries. For each one of those countries, what are the regulatory concerns? What are the regulatory hoops or check boxes we must check, right? And they're doing it. They're executing on that. So where we see Binance faltering, we see Coinbase basically about to explode. I think a changing of the guard in the future, that could happen. That could very much happen, right? You have the largest centralized exchange in the United States now flexing, stretching its wings around the world. And you have the largest global centralized exchange, Binance, kind of diminishing, kind of shrinking. Anyway, you know what we should do? We should get into the numbers. So You can see that if you look at the crosshairs right here, my green band starts at 26,475, goes up to 31,580, and we are well below that 26,485. We're still moving laterally, but we're not enjoying that nice little upbit right here that happened. That said, Bitcoin down, still above 26,000, but way too low for my nerves. ETH down below 1,600 at 1,577. These are not numbers that are making me happy, except for one thing. You know me, I'm all about DCA. I'm all about dollar cost averaging. So while they're down, put a little bit in. Got 25 bucks? Put a little bit in. Instead of going to buy that pack of cigarettes, go buy, get your health in order and go buy some of this. Pick a coin, go get in. You'd be surprised at how much that adds up. You would be surprised at how much that adds up. When I was a kid, I got involved with, saving money and, started off with a savings account, right? Mom got me a savings account and I would do things around the house that would get me money. But I don't mean like clean up and stuff like that. I mean like special stuff that mom didn't want to do. Like mom hated going to the store. Once she was home after work, she didn't want to go to the store. So I would go to the store and I'd get paid to go to the store. And then I started realizing that my neighbors didn't want to go to the store. So I had a nice little business, chubby little kid, dimples, and I would go to the store for people. People would literally come knocking on our door and, hey, can Eddie go to the store for us? Da, da, da. Yeah. Had a nice, cute little business. That's when I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. That was my first business. Anyway, that little bit, my mother would take my money and put it in a savings account. That little bit of money going into a savings account is a very big deal, right? $10 here, $5 there, $25, birthday money, all of that adds up. All of it adds up. There are families out there that actually have a practice in place that says you get two kinds of gifts. One gift, that money goes in the bank, and that's separate and distinct from any additional money that you would get. So grandma and grandpa money go in the bank. Money from us goes in the bank. All kinds of money goes in the bank. And then separately, here's money so you can go buy whatever it is you want to go buy. Because they know that building generational wealth starts from that age. I have a friend who bought real estate when he found out his ex-wife was pregnant. His then wife. So he would buy real estate, and he owns real estate for each one of his kids from birth, from previous to birth. And he says, oh yeah, no, I'm doing this because if I buy it now, by the time college comes around in 18 years, whatever, I'll be able to sell that and have a huge chunk, or they'll be able to use it. Who knows? But it was a great investment. So over that period of time, he rented them out, made money off of it, and kids got older. They're able to use them. That's huge. That's huge. That's huger than huge. So we should be paying attention to things like that. All right. I do want to call out a couple of things. The fear and greed index is at 47, but that's not the big deal. You want to know what the big deal is? Federal Governor Bowman is speaking on Tuesday, and then you have Fed Governor Cook speaks at 1 p.m. on Thursday, and then Fed Chair Powell speaks right there at 4 p.m. Thursday. So you've got 3 times where, news could hit, where, things could affect the market, because I'm not seeing, too much else that's going on, but those speeches could actually move the market. So we should be paying attention. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, drop me a note. If you don't, drop me a note. Tell me how I can get better. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.